Hello, my name is Naomi Noeldner, and I have been a member at Faith Church for about 18 years. That makes me feel old to say, but that's true. For about 15 years, I worked as what's called a parent educator, which is basically just a teacher for parents. And I worked through the school, and we had families with really young kids would come, and we just talked about being a parent and raising a family, and what do kids need growing up, and what do healthy families have in common. So all sorts of things, and it was a really fun job. I think my role as parent educator also served Jesus, because a lot of the times I tend to take a really simple view of Jesus, and I basically think of Jesus simultaneously as I think about the words love and caring. I just kind of substitute those words sometimes. And I think the way that played out in my job is, in your family, it's like the first place where you are loved and cared for in this tight little circle of your family, and you learn about being loving and being caring toward one another from your family. So I think anytime you're doing something to sort of strengthen what goes on in families, and help family members learn to care for one another, I think that really lines up with what Jesus tells us we are supposed to do, and how we are supposed to care for one another, even people outside of our family. So throughout the years at Faith, I've been active volunteering. Basically, I followed my kids wherever they were at. So when they were little, I helped out by teaching Sunday school and helping with Christmas programs. For a while, we had a program called Seeds of Faith, and that was basically we just planned fun things for families to do at church. That was really fun. I helped with that. And then as my kids got older, I was a confirmation guide and a Lenten mentor, and kind of got to do all the things that went along with that. And in addition to our, Wednesday confirmation meetings at church, we would do service projects. Obviously, we would do the ditch cleanup, but we made blankets for people that were at the kidney transplant center. And I remember packing a lot of Christmas boxes and goodie bags, and, just doing other projects that were more focused on other people, other than those of us that were at church, which was really good. I think that my volunteer roles at church helped serve Jesus in that, basically I look at Jesus calls on us to care for each other and look after each other. And so when you're serving other people, and putting other people's needs in front of your own, then you're doing the work you're supposed to be doing. And I talked earlier about our families being these tight little circles. I kind of look at the people in my church community as like the next ring out on that circle, and that I think it can be really valuable to kids to know that obviously the people in their family love them and their teachers at school care for them. But I think it can be really powerful for kids to know that other people that are not related to them also care about them and are interested in getting to know them and hear about their day and find out what they like to do and hear their thoughts. And so I would hope that my time helping out with youth activities at church, I would hope that it led to at least some kid knowing that people truly do care about them and want good things for them and want to obviously celebrate in the good things, a great band concert or a basketball game, whatever, but also that people care about them even when things are not going well, and like I said, want good things for them. So, I think that when Jesus tells us to love our neighbor, to me, it means that not only should I be concerned about the well-being of my own family, but I should also be concerned about the well-being of other people in my community. And not only should I be concerned about it, but I think we should be willing to actually contribute somehow. Maybe it's by donating money, maybe it's by using our time to volunteer, but that we're not just concerned about people in our community, but we're willing to contribute in some way to the greater good, to make our own little small town or church community a better place. That's what I think it means. One day I was in the grocery store in Wilmer, and I was just minding my own business, waiting at the checkout, and in front of me was a mom who had a lot of small children, and they obviously were like ready to be done and out of the store and squirrely, and the mom was like trying to focus and the kids were doing all this stuff. And anyway, it came time for her to pay, and she went to pay for her bill, and I kind of noticed something else was going on, and pretty soon I came to realize that the mom didn't have enough money to pay for what she had in her cart. And I just remember, trying to put myself in her shoes and think about what would that feel like to know that you need this food to feed your children, but you don't have what you need to get that food home to feed, that they need. And I kind of just, once I realized what was going on, I grabbed my credit card without thinking too much, and I just gave it to the cashier, and I said, just, put the extra on my card. And she kind of looked at me like, are you sure? And I said, yep, just do it. And the mom was really grateful. And by the time I got to the car, I had really mixed feelings. I was grateful that in that moment I was able to share. There'd been many times in my life I wouldn't have had enough money to be able to say, yeah, here, I'll just, just wouldn't have had enough extra. But that day I did, so I was grateful. But at the same time, all I could think of was, well, what happens next week when she needs to go to the store again? Will she have enough money then? And so I just said a little prayer that she would be able to, find a bigger resource that could help her until she got, her needs met better for her kids. And I think that ties in with why we need to help each other, so that their needs can be met. I don't have a specific example, but I am somebody that likes surprises. And so I have been known to either leave something on someone's doorstep when they're not expecting anything, just on a regular old Wednesday, just surprise them with a little treat, or maybe put a card in the mail if I know somebody's having a hard time, or just a word of encouragement. Yeah, and sometimes I don't even sign my name. Sometimes I just leave a treat and think, oh, this will be fun. Paper. I think Jesus asks us to love our neighbor because, I mean, let's face it, sometimes life gets hard, and there's really only so much we can do on our own. I think we really, not only do I believe that we are all like in this world together, but I also believe that we are also just better together when we help each other. And I think that, yeah, on our own, there's only so much we can do, but when we pull together for one another, we can really help improve people's lives. I think what makes it easy to love and serve others is that there's literally a million different ways you can do it. You can brighten somebody's day by obviously giving them something or helping them with something, but even just being kind, it doesn't necessarily, when we think about serving others, sometimes we're like, oh yeah, but that just takes a lot of time and energy and resources, and I'm not rich, so, like, nice for those really rich people that they can share money, but we can help each other in even really little ways. And sometimes it's as simple as just being kind to strangers. We always have time to be kind. Sometimes we do bigger things. Sometimes we raise money for a family that is in need, or sometimes we, go to a charity auction or make something and give it to charity. But we can always find time to treat one another with dignity and kindness. Even as simple as holding the door for somebody else and letting them go through the door first. It's kind of a really simple thing, but it can be extremely powerful. So it's easy to find a lot of ways to serve. What makes it difficult? I think if we're being really honest, I think it's human nature that we think of ourselves first. I think we kind of always have to be working against that and making sure that we don't just concern ourselves with what we need, but we're also concerning ourselves with what other people need. And it's that takes being intentional about putting other people first. I think something else that can make it difficult is that I think it can be really easy, especially nowadays, to get a little overwhelmed by all the stories you hear of need in the world and in the country. And sometimes you think, oh, well, I'm just one person. What can I even do? I can't even make much, of an impact. And I think that that's not really helpful thinking. I think we need to always be reminding ourselves that we have really significant power to improve just one person's life, right? Or just do one thing for somebody else in the day. And the ripple effects of that end up being a big thing if it's part of our habit that we do regularly. So yeah, we're just one person, but actually one person can really make a difference. So, all right, that's it. Thank you.